Thanks so much, Sam, for chatting with me today about this film.
Yo, likewise. It's really good to talk to you. So thank you
Y-
for having me.
Yes, yes, I enjoyed the film so, so much. I didn't even know what to expect, but it just like exceeded all of my expectations, anything that I thought was going to happen in the film. And my favorite part, I would have to say, was the monologue slash rant that Malcolm goes on about film criticism. And it was spot on for many reasons. One, the paywall is literally the bane of my existence as a journalist.
Right,
Because
right.
and it's kind of sad because that's the direction that media has to go in now for funding and stuff. But just the general discourse about film being inherently political just because the identity of the artist, whether that be race, gender, sexuality, et cetera, et cetera. And I wanted to ask you, how do how does reviews and criticism impact the way that you process the reception of your work? And do you even share similar frustrations that Malcolm has?
Look, I think it's a great question because, look, I grew up loving film, but I also grew up loving film criticism. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that great critique can push filmmaking forward as much as filmmaking can.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that I've learned about uh, film or understood film came through criticism. And at the same time, just understanding, the kind of the repercussions of story on a cultural level, on a political level, is extremely illuminating and also important. What I do, what I think is, it's funny. I guess because I'm a filmmaker and Malcolm's a filmmaker, there's an immediate assumption that my position is completely aligned with his, which I
Mm-hmm.
don't actually think is necessarily true. I think I share both Marie's sentiments about it and also aspects of Malcolm's sentiments. But I think what he's doing is he's pushing back on the assumptions of that I think certain just that has become a little bit of a tendency to sort of amongst critics that I may even agree with,
Mm-hmm.
by and large, to sort of, uh, that like I think about it in terms of, say, Arthur Miller, right? When he wrote Death of a Salesman, he didn't want it to be a Jewish family. So he named the kids Biff and Happy, the least Jewish names, you could think of,
Mm-hmm.
because he didn't want people to dismiss his work as, oh, this is a Jewish family. This isn't an American family. And so I think that there's always a certain frustration in not feeling like you've been heard. And so I like the idea of asking those questions that I think will will be with us till the end of time. But I
Mm-hmm.
also like Marie pushing back on those questions because I
Yeah.
also think that they're valid questions for any filmmaker to think.
As a film critic, I do I really love it. I thought that it was, questions that we always talk about, like on quote unquote film Twitter, about, reception and how people receive films. And I think they're definitely definitely notable and worthy questions of being brought up and how they're both having the same viewpoint. But and congrats on this launch.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It's been a pleasure to talk to you. So
Thank you.
I hope
Have a
we
good
do it
one.
again.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I hope so too. Bye.
All right.